Well, for some, it's just another summer job. But if you want a lifeguard, you've got to go through the training. So what happens when the 25-hour training comes to an end? We checked out Baltimore's pools this summer, taking a closer look at the lifeguards taking watch over your kids. It's not a job to be taken lightly. We can all agree on that.
There are lots of jobs that a 15, 16, or 17-year-old could take for a summer, for a part-time or something like that. Almost none of them require the level of training and commitment and dedication and willingness to serve others that being a lifeguard or a swimming instructor has.
Bill Kirkner is no stranger to saving lives.
Grab the board, bring it over.
He's a lifeguard trainer with the Red Cross and helped write the lifeguard training manual.
We can pretty much guarantee at any pool during any summer, regardless of how safe they are, something really bad is going to happen. The trick is how you respond.
But the right response, he says, is keeping a close watch on all aspects of the water at all times. Something we didn't always see at city pools this summer. Each of these lifeguards is certified with Red Cross training. But judging by what we saw, you might not always know that.
Well, that's definitely not what we teach them.
Instead of intently scanning the water, we saw lifeguards chatting, blowing whistles at each other.
Is that a whistle?
Yes, and she just backed up because it was loud.
Wow, okay.
And even doing some sort of figurative dance on duty. Is there anything wrong with any of this, do you think? With lifeguards talking to friends on duty?
It depends on how long. Now, they should not be distracting the lifeguard. That's sort of a no-brainer.
We took what we saw to Baltimore City Aquatics Director Daryl Sutton. Are you shocked to see that?
Well, it's definitely not what we teach them. However, it happens. We're aware that it happens.
We spotted at least 6 people in the Cherry Hill pool with no lifeguards in sight. It happened during a half-hour health and safety inspection when the pool is closed. Sutton says it's a time that the staff uses to go over the day's challenges. It's also an opportunity, he says, for lifeguards to get in their mandatory 12 laps per day.
We ensure that they swim on a regular basis.
Do any guards need to be on duty watching other people swimming during that?
Yes. You should have a guard on duty at all times.
But during the inspection that day at this pool, we didn't see anyone in red. Instead, we saw mostly people in blue. Staff members, Sutton says, who are not water certified. So we went to management. And you're saying there were lifeguards out there even though we didn't see them?
Sure.
Okay. Do you know where they were located? Because we didn't see anybody.
I normally don't put a lifeguard in the stand while we swim because, like I said, we're lifeguards.
Right. But the people in blue are not.
What'd you say?
The people in blue
yes,
are not.
but the people who were also in the water were lifeguards.
Sutton agrees that having no lifeguard in plain sight could be sending the wrong message.
It's just a simple rule of thumb. Whenever someone's in the water, you should have a lifeguard up. That's what you should have.
Are you shocked to see this?
Well, let's not say shocked. What it tells me is that we have further training to do.
But when it comes to the chatting... And now what about this? Is this too long? He says it really depends on how long.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We caught lifeguards doing cannonballs and diving in repeatedly off the lifeguard stand during another inspection, something Kirkner says should never happen.
Yeah, that's definitely not something that should be taking place there. That's exactly what we try to prevent.
Sutton stresses the importance of training, and every city lifeguard is certified. But after seeing this, he says, it's time to get back to the basics.
Am I shocked that it happened? No. But what it does for me, it gives me a point from where we can start. And what I can say to them is, this is what the public sees.
He plans to use our video as a point of reference for training purposes. It's a step, he says, in the right direction.
A broken clock is right twice a day. So things happen. We understand that. So what it tells me as the director of aquatics is that we have a lot of training to do.
Now, Sutton says in an ideal situation, these lifeguards will be monitoring their water at all times while on duty. During part of that video that we showed him, he said a chatty lifeguard did a good job because she was able to help a swimmer even in conversation. So far this year, the city has had 4 ambulance calls to pools, but no drownings. We visited several city pools and captured the video that you saw by spending just about an hour at each pool. It was shot over a 2-day period in late June. We waited for the city to respond with lifeguard certification numbers for weeks before we could move forward with this story.